everybody. Welcome back to the Monkey Brothers Nerd Show. Of course, I'm Doc.
And I'm Louie.
Exactly. And today we're bringing you a Comic Haul edition of Monkey Brothers Nerd Show.
You buddy. We've actually done our homework this time.
Yes, no more half-assing it or full ass or nothing.
So, let's see. I guess the big thing that we're actually reading and actually kind of excited for, first up off the bat, has got to be Dark Knights of Steel. So, Doc, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, of course, it has the Justice League. It has everybody in the DC comic. Like, I think you brought up a good point. It reminded me of Marvel 1602, at least the idea behind it. Mm-hmm. But what got my attention originally was the art. Yasmin Putri does the art. I really always liked her art, so that really drew me into the covers. At that point, reading it was going to be secondhand to me, but after I opened it up and read it, I was like, man, that was really, really good story. So then I passed it on to you.
Yeah, which I gotta admit, I wasn't expecting just to rip off of 1602 or whatever, because that's pretty much what I saw, and I'm getting a little bit tired of the Batman tales, where it's like time traveling Batman. But I was pleasantly surprised. So
I was too. Some of the things that are in there I didn't really expect.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes. We read the first two, and we hope to keep on reading the next ones. Now, the only thing I will say is that if this is from what I understand right now, it's a popular title. Mm-hmm. I hope that it's just a small run, maybe
12 issues or so.
Yeah, 12 issues is probably going to be like a full year. Maybe, I don't know how many issues. But let's just hope it's one run and then that's the end of this universe.
Yeah.
Because I know we were talking about Marvel 1602. I know Neil Gaiman wrote it, but I was really glad that they ended it. I don't remember if they did a second part to that, but
I want to say they did, and I don't think I remember reading that.
No. And I hope they don't do that with this because, the bastardization of stories just to make more money. Yeah, it's kind of I don't think so. Just you always diminish what the first one was.
Yeah. So, next up is Sheena and the Hulk.
So, Sheena, again, sorry about the picture. I know you can't really tell on this one, but I picked it up because I like the artist Rose Vash, I think. I'm probably murdering that name. I really like her artwork. I know that she was at I think C2E2 a couple of weeks ago or last week or whatever it was, and she was doing comic book sketches, with pink pencil. It looked really nice. I liked them. And then I found out the price, or at least the supposed price, and then I didn't like them quite as much.
Just, okay, how much was the price?
Did I show you those comic books? I'll show you. $1,200.
Good. Great googly movies.
And I'm like, okay, I would have been all in for $300. But $1,200, it's the cool original art, getting commissions. It's I don't I've just been discussing with Okram and a couple other of my friends. It's getting to the point where I'm just, tapping out on some of these major artists and hey, God bless them if they can get them. But realistically, you're getting fans. To me, for me, I know that I can't afford $1,200. I probably could, but then I'd be getting one, and on top of that, as much as I like this artist artwork, it'd be on a sketchbook, which I really don't do anymore.
Yeah,
on the comic book, So I don't know. I'd be out at $1,200. That's a lot for what you were getting. You're probably paying more for name brand recognition.
Yeah, but going back to the conversation, what did you think about Sheena, as a comic book?
So I liked the cover. I actually didn't mind the story. Mm-hmm. The story was pretty okay. Not the most original thing, right?
Yeah,
but I didn't mind the story. Mostly, I guess, because I'm kind of getting burnt down on just Batman,
super heroics.
Yeah. So this was kind of a nice change for what I usually like to read. And the artwork inside reminded me of like that 90s type artwork.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I'll give it, I'll buy, 4 issues, see what's going on.
Yeah. And Hulk Smashtronaut is what I'm calling this storyline.
So,
Like,
what did you think?
honestly, when I read the first issue, like it's one of those things. Like, okay, I see where this is going, but I don't like it. You know, reading the second issue, I'm like, okay, I really like. So far, it's 2 thumbs down for me so far. But like you, I'm gonna give it 4 issues minimum.
So,
What do you think?
I'm right there on the fence because, and I know I've told you this in private. I like Ryan Otley as an artist, and Donnie Cates, I'm assuming, is writing this, and he just came off doing King in Black, which was like a major, Venom story arc, and was really, really good. So I'm willing to give him benefit of the doubt, so I will give it my 4 issue, limit. They kind of suckered me in with the Hulk in the suit because, of course, that reminds me of one of my favorite Hulks, Mr. Fix-It.
Mr. Fix. Yep.
But we'll see. I'm kind of like you. I don't know where this is going. To be honest with you, it's kind of like, okay, it's like realistically, as of right now, it just seems like everything is being played out in his head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all the stuff that's going on supposedly outside where the Hulk's at, I don't really know exactly how realistic that is. To me, it just seems like all these are just his personalities inside of, so we'll see where it goes. I mean, maybe it turns the corner and it becomes really interesting as maybe the rest of the story unfolds. So
I'm hoping, but as of right now,
yeah,
like, no, it's going to be a no-go for me. But we'll see. 2 more issues to go before I give up.
Yeah.
So, these are the...
Creme de la creme.
Yeah. The highlights of, I guess, the last 2 weeks of comic hauls.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I know we've been discussing, I'm kind of getting burnt out. Like, I love, like, Batman's my guy, right? And I really do miss the fact that, like, here the last 2 years or so, I think last year they did Joker War. This time it's Fear State, and I'm like, I'm getting burnt out of these really long story arcs. To the point where I'm like, I'm really cutting down on a lot of the, because for one, it's always the story arcs, and it's all the other little extras books that you have to buy. Not that I buy them, but I'm like, I'm just kind of getting burnt out on those. Like, it's like a tent pole, like Labor Day movie spectacular. All the big movies would come out.
Yeah,
that's what that reminds me of. And I'm just getting burned down on that. I'm like, can we just concentrate on just several good stories throughout the year? And then, Marvel's kind of the same way. They're rebooting the X-Men once again. And I'm like, it's like, whatever, man. At this point, I'm just like, I love some of the characters, but just let me know when you figure this shit out.
Yeah. That's actually what I thought the NYX or Nix was. I thought it was like an X-Men thing. Because, you see that X, that iconic X. But
so that is the same artist that did Sheena.
Is it like the cover art?
Yeah, the cover art.
Okay,
that's why I bought it.
Yeah.
So, but I've heard a little thing that's gonna be a good story. So I'm looking for the first. That's the second. Second book number 2. I'm looking for book number 1. Right? Yeah, my bad. But Odin's Eye.
Oh yeah.
Comes from Bad Idea.
So again, Bad Idea with the good ideas.
Yes.
But so right quick. So we both read Odin's Eye. I read Nix, and you read it. And I know the picture's blurry, but that's actually the King of Spies, right?
Yes.
Right quick. What did you think of King of Spies?
So I will say, for those of you in the know, it's written by Mark Millar. I think that's his last name. And the artist is Matteo Scalera. So some of you know me, you know that I'm a big fan of Matteo Scalera. Also, art I can't afford. But the guy is fucking awesome. Awesome artist. And I like the writer. Some of you know who that is. I think he either came out with Kick-Ass and some other stories. But nonetheless, the story, the premise is really good. I really like it. And when you open up the book, I mean, the artwork is not something you're used to seeing. Some of the colors are a little bit muted, but I actually like it because it's kind of it makes the world around it look dingy. Gotcha. But I think that's kind of what they're going for. So I really enjoyed that story.
Yeah. As for Nyx is one of those things that I'm kind of like, I didn't know it was issue number 2. It feels like it's actually issue number 1.
Right.
So, like, if you can't find issue number 1, no big deal. Because it literally feels like number 1. But, like, you could see where things are going. I'm hoping, there's a twist, there's a turn somewhere. But as of right now, it seems like, the old trope of the child that doesn't want to be like the father. This time, the father is the god of madness.
Okay.
Yeah. But hoping for a twist and turn somewhere.
You want to be surprised, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So Odin's Eye.
Okay. So first of all, we both agree that company's put out some really good comic books.
Yes.
They were really exactly what we want. Like me, I'm burnt out on certain things. You're burnt out on certain tropes. Bad Idea, I would say, has been the best surprise in comics that I've had this year.
Yeah, for sure.
They have Pirate Queen, which I love.
Yeah.
And now they have Odin's Eye. Now, I don't know what kind of run they're going to have on Odin's Eye, but it's a really good story. The cover is really sweet. I mean, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And when you open it up, the artwork matches perfectly. It's really, really good art. Really well done. And the story it just grabs you right off the bat.
Yeah.
As opposed to what we'll be discussing in a little bit.
Yeah. So right quick, on my take on Odin's Eye, and just Bad Idea comics in general, like especially that Pirate Queen, is I love it because like it might be using some tropes, but it's giving you so much story in between.
Yes.
Like it's actually setting you up to like the characters or to dislike the characters, and it's just like
it's very good character development.
Yeah.
They develop they flesh out their characters really well, but they do it in a way that that's not boring.
Yeah.
So
the last one, and these are, I mean, I hate to say it, these are the rejects of the pile.
Yeah, these are the ones that
Oops,
not those. Those were the good ones. So these right here are the ones that I'll be honest with you. I tried to read them. I know I discussed it with you, and I treat comic books like I treat music. So I've been trying to find different comics to read, as you can tell by some of the titles. And honestly, I know it's going to be hit and miss, but so these are the misses pretty much.
Yeah.
So one is called Rush. It's like Gold Rush and some kind of spider-looking monsters thing.
Yeah. It's set in the Gold Rush.
Yeah.
It looks like it has supernatural elements and elements of betrayal. Hey, like
honestly, not the story just didn't get me like right away.
Yeah.
And then Cross the Bear, you pointed out exactly what I thought too. And I was like, oh wow, maybe it's kind of Jack the Ripperish type.
Yeah.
That makes me think of
From Hell.
Yes.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I flipped through it, and I saw one scene, and I'm like, okay, Secret Society, Templars. Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, no, definitely not From Hell, but boring as hell. Yeah.
And I forgot the name. We're just going to call it Oswald's Body.
Yes. So, Oswald's Body, and I think one of the surprises that we found this year too is, and I know we're late, to jump on that bandwagon, was it the Truth Department?
The Department of Truth.
Department of Truth, my bad. The Department of Truth. The story was really good. The story's really good on the Department of Truth. The artwork's different than what you would expect on a comic book, but it fits the story.
Yeah.
So, looking at this,
you kind of expect the same thing.
You're expecting, okay, maybe it's in that same vein, and for the most part, it is art that you're not used to in a regular comic book. And I'm not, like I said, I read through most of this book, and from what I got from the comic book was just Secret Agent Man is setting up Lee Harvey Oswald to take the fall for Kennedy's assassination.
Yeah.
Or somewhere in there. And realistically, and of course, it's the people that he's picking all have different sets of skills, and they all have, one of them is, you're going to do this, or I'm going to tell, your deepest secret to so-and-so, or, everybody has different points of pressure, to get them to do what they want, and that's kind of where this is going, and I'm like, realistically, yeah, okay.
I can't even say it out that far. I opened up the book, and I just didn't like the art, and I was like, nope, not even going to bother.
And like I said, I'm not saying the art isn't interesting.
No,
it's not like your regular comic book.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when the art is that different from what you're used to in a comic book, that you really have to make sure that the story is tight.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm like, not that it's a bad story, not that it's not a nicely woven story for the first issue. It's just realistically it drags. Like you lose somebody like that really quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was me snapping my fingers.
Yeah, it's whatever. We'll clean it up. But speaking of dragging on, I think this episode has dragged on long enough. We could talk about this more on the Chongo Libre. So as always, let us know what you think down in the comments, because I know there's going to be some people that love these right here. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe,
and hit that notification bell.